Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll help the channel out and it'll get you more videos like this. Let's get to it. And our first one is from Educational Ban 7031. Am I the beehole? My roommate used my bed for sex. Hey folks, I'm thankful for your input. I don't think I'm the beehole, but who knows? My 30-year-old male best friend, Alex, also a 30-year-old male, had a huge falling out with his family for career reasons. They threw him out and he's been living with me since. It's been great fun. Alex has a guest bed in a separate room. Now, one thing I noticed about Alex after a few weeks is that he's quite sexually active. Nothing against that. His life, his fun. He uses the guest bed for this too, which I'm okay with as well. Now, I do have this sort of tradition. For a few years now, that every Friday after work, I immediately visit my parents and we're all eating dinner together. A small family gathering once a week, if you will. Last Friday though, in the morning while I was at work, my mom texted me that they won't be at home for reasons. So I thought, why go there in the first place? And after work, immediately drove home. Well, I entered my flat and I can hear the moaning. It was then that I noticed 1. The door to the guest room, which was opposite the entrance door at the end of the corridor, was open, and 2. The noises came from my right, which was the door to my room. So after I realized 1 plus 1 equals 2, I stormed into my own room and saw Alex plowing some girl on my bed. I screamed at the both of them, demanding the girl to get the F out of my flat, and asking Alex if he had lost his mind. Another thing I might have needed to add, if it matters, I don't know, is that the fact that I'm gay, which Alex has known ever since school. So, not only did I have to think that my best friend was using my bed, but also that one woman or more, me stepping in here, let's be honest, it's gonna be more because you've been doing this, every week, have been on there as well, which absolutely disgusted me. Seeing the sheet then, a small puddle of what can only be described as the girl's juice, was even more sickening to me. Well, first action for me was that the sheet was going to be thrown inside the washing machine. Personally, I would have burnt it or thrown it away. All the while, Alex and I screamed at each other, him telling me to calm down, that I'm overreacting, and stuff like that. No, you're not, that's disgusting. I just repeated myself for the most part, telling him that he's a beehole for using my bed, that he disgusts me, that he'd be equally disgusted if I used his guest bed, and so on. He eventually stormed out angrily and was gone for several hours. I have spoken to some other friends, all 3 male and straight. They all think I overreacted, that I should have told him about my mother's text, and that I'd be home earlier, and now I don't know what to think. What do you mean tell him that? You shouldn't have to tell him that. They want you to tell him that so he has time to get out of your bed with the woman and then clean your sheets, or maybe not even clean your sheets, and let you lie down in that that's disgusting to me. Those are not your friends, OP. Did I overreact? Am I the beehole here for telling him that he's disgusting, and a beehole for using my bed for his sexual encounters? 'Cause it's nothing wild. Thanks for your answers and views. Maybe even some advice on how to handle the situation. Alex and I are not on speaking terms right now and ignore each other. Though he still lives with me, I think neither of us want to admit they were wrong to do that in the first step. Sorry for the long text. Thank you for reading and your answers. Okay, first things first, you are not the beehole. I don't care who's doing it with who, man, woman, woman, man, I don't care. I don't want people having intercourse on my bed. That is disgusting. I don't want to lay down in someone else's juices. Even if you wash it, it still crawls my flesh because I know what happened. Now, I don't even want people to sit on my bed. And you were doing him a huge favor. You took him in and you didn't have to. I didn't hear you charging him anything, so I assume he's living there for free. So, add that on top of it. And he has the nerve and the audacity to disrespect you by doing that in your room when he has his own room and he has his own bed. I see him not respecting as that extreme disrespect and him not taking you seriously, OP. Personally, I would kick him out. That is a disgusting act to do on your bed. You know what I mean? On someone else's bed without their permission. And he's still over here trying to act like he's not in the wrong by saying, "Oh, it's not a big deal." Da 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 da. No, OP. Personally, I would kick him out. I can't trust this guy, and I'm not going to leave someone alone in my home that I cannot trust. OP, you are not the beehole. And our next one is from Queasy Channel 4488. Am I the beehole for kicking my niece out because of what she said about my wife? Our niece is 19 years old. Her parents are both deadbeats, so she was practically raised by everyone else in the family. Last year, she got accepted in the best, most expensive college in our country, and told me and my siblings, and told her that she doesn't need to worry about money, we will all pay. The problem is that she is very rude, and she also has a habit of eavesdropping, so she knows everything about everyone in our family. A few days ago, we had a fight with everyone. It was about her being jealous of our kids because apparently we don't treat them equally, even though we are spending thousands of dollars a year just for her college. She has never had to work a second in her life because we pay for everything else as well, but nothing is good enough for her. She kept yelling at us, and I finally told her that if she says one more word, we will all stop paying for her college. She turned to me and said, F you. I said, that's it. No one's paying for your college anymore. And that's when things went wrong. She started to inform everyone about all of our secrets, things we never wanted our family to know. When she yelled at everyone that my wife is a whore, she slept with a couple of guys for money before we got married because she needed the money very bad. I decided that I had enough and kicked her out and told her to never return. Now my sister has been crying because apparently niece isn't answering her calls and she's worried something could happen to her because she has nowhere else to go, and it's very clear that both my niece and sister think I was the arsehole for overreacting. No, you weren't overreacting. She was rude and disrespectful to you in your house when you were, giving her a place to stay, and you were paying for her college at the best college, so I know that isn't cheap. I'm saying if someone was doing for that for me, I'd worship the bloody ground they walk on, because college was not cheap. But sadly, it sounds like she was babied and mollycoddled and given everything she wanted, so she grew up to be a spoiled brat. And that brat, not getting what she wants, is throwing a tantrum. OP, you need to forget about her. She's a grown adult. If she walked out of your house and you kicked her out of her house, that's it. She needs to figure it out. And screw your sister. She was a deadbeat parent. She doesn't get to say a bloody thing. Little Miss I get whatever I want or I throw a tantrum needs to learn how to be an adult and needs to learn that her actions do have consequences, and her doing that cost her college, cost her a place to live, and it cost her a lot of family members, because I'd be done with her if she's going to start leaking secrets to people. She wanted to burn that bridge while she was on it, OP. You do not look for her. That little creature is dead to you, OP. You don't, that's not your circus, not your monkey. So OP, no, you're not the beehole. Do not take her back in. Do not deal with her. She needs to be humbled, and the only way to do that is to hit rock bottom and figure out how much of a terrible person she is. And our final one is from West Visual 781. Am I the beehole for refusing to hold a graduation party for my daughter for getting her GED? I will try to keep this as short as possible. My middle daughter has always struggled with academics. She was in average classes, usually getting a C or a B. In high school, it got harder and she went through a lot of tutoring. When she was 17, she almost failed out. She had been tested before and it came back with nothing. We learned at the time she decided to stop, she wasn't turning stuff in, and told us there was no point since she wasn't doing well academically. She also had a huge resentment at the time for her younger sister that was academically inclined. She turned 18 and refused to go to school and dropped out. After this, she spiraled and ruined a lot of relationships with friends and family. She had an addiction. Her 3 siblings do not want to speak with her, and my wife doesn't interact with her. That's a whole different story, but in short, she stole a lot of money. She is now 26 and back on track. She called me asking me to host a graduation party since she got her GED, that I did it for the rest of the kids. I told her no for 3 main reasons. The first being she isn't graduating, she got her GED. No one will show up, she has screwed almost all the family, so they won't go, and her friends are shady, so I don't want to invite them. My last is that she is 26, and this was supposed to happen when she was 18. She called me a jerk. I don't blame you, OP. I was kind of in her situation, not as far as her, but I was a lazy kid who didn't want to study and do work. Eventually, I did pass, but I had to go to night school to get credits and all that stuff, so I did get my diploma and all that. But I didn't give up. I had parents who made sure I passed, and I'm not, blaming you guys. She sounds like she just didn't want to do it. And I don't blame you for not wanting to host that party. It seems like a pointless endeavor. Even though, yeah, she got her GED, and you know what? If she had been trying her whole life and she'd been not not rude to you guys, not left you guys, not getting addicted to things, not stealing money. That's a big one for me. I would celebrate the GED, but like you said, she burnt down every single bridge. The family's not going to be there. I don't blame you for not wanting to have her shady friends over in your house with things they can steal. So I'm going to say, yeah, you're not the beehole. She effed up too much and burnt every bridge. I'm sorry, you don't get to just steal a lot of money from me and expect me to go, yeah, I'll waste money and my time throwing you a party because you got a GED. I do not blame you, OP. You are 100% not the beehole. Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me. And can you please do what I said in the beginning? And like, comment, and subscribe. It really and truly does help the channel out. It helps it grow, and it helps you get more videos like this. Velvet out.